update on the new world boss legend, Thanos, and the Black Order. I'm having a lot of fun playing this boss. I've climbed all the way up to stage 42, but I have to lament that certain characters that I love playing, who I think are also genuinely good for this fight, just don't have the juice anymore. They just do not have what it takes, and you're looking at one of them. This is Black Bolt, admittedly with a mighty rage, completely struggling to tickle Thanos to the tune of 3 bars, the top of 4 bars, in 30 seconds. And the reason why that's bad is it's not enough damage. If the math isn't mathing, you got to do closer to, I don't know, 6-7 bars at least. Comfortably, you want to get closer to 10 bars after a minute, at least. You know, and you can see here that he's quite shy of that. Now, if I could, of course, I could give him a brilliant. I could jack up his build, whatever. You know, there's things you can do, right? I'm not completely out of options if I really wanted to play as Black Bolt. But yeah, I don't really want to do that specifically. I don't want to spend crystals equipping CTPs and things like that. But the reason why Black Bolt, I think, is really good for this fight, and if he ever gets a uniform upgrade, I think I'll be vindicated in my prediction, is the V-Pad. The V-Pad's actually really important, and once you climb up high enough against Thanos, especially in the end of the fight, the last like 20 bars, when King Thanos comes out, V-Pad is really important, because Thanos does a bunch of bullshit attacks where you can't see what's going on. Classic Marvel Future Fight thing, by the way. You can't see what's going on because of all the effects. And he has like a burning circle around himself, and it does crazy amounts of damage, and it basically just kills you if you're standing next to him in an animation. So you either need to, you know, use an animation to get out, you need like a movement skill, or you need to use a V-Pad. So you first notice how good this is on 30 with Venom, because you can use him on the combat male stage, and it's a delight. You can also notice it on stages where you can use someone like Doctor Strange, for example, who I admit regrettably used already on stage 41 today, where you can start your animation pretty far away. And he also has a V-Pad on his 4th, but he just stays kind of blasting Thanos from afar, which is really, really nice. Anyways, all that is to say, we're going to be doing the following here. I'm on stage 42. I kind of screwed up. I should have used Jean on 41, and I should have used, you know, Doctor Strange on 42 because he has a brilliant here. But I want to clear this stage. I can't do it with Black Bolt. And with this team up here, even though I have double support, because I don't have a leadership, I don't do enough damage. That's kind of the issue. Not that I don't do enough damage. I don't have like an attack buff, whatever, because her leadership is just debuff cleanse, which is not bad, but she doesn't really need it. And as you can see here, like I have Hela that I can use. I have maybe like Apocalypse Leader or whatever. But there's or like Magneto even, but none of them are supports. So I'd be losing a support to gain a leadership, which, by the way, doesn't really, the math doesn't really add up there. Now, them both having a mighty is not really helpful. Because it's not gonna overlap. I mean, it overlaps in the sense that one of them doesn't work. But ideally, what I would do is I would sub out Mystique for a leadership that has a passive buff. And if we go to my list of tier 4s, no, if we go to my list, that's just soon later. If we go to my list of tier 4s and we you know, go by villain here, who I don't have tier 4, there's only a couple. So in the Transcended category, there's just Bullseye. And Bullseye's lead, although not bad, with 50% ignore dodge, is not really that good. And he has no support buff. On the other hand, you see where this is going? Ebony Maw! You see where this is going? So people forget, he's got the 50% energy attack lead, which would help Jean. And then on top of that, we know he has the increased damage to universal types, which is Thanos, and decreased damage received from universal types. So he's actually a really good lead/support for Thanos specifically. So that's quite nice there. Now his ability tags evil, mind resist, Black Order, whatever. But I have a decent build. I have his 5-star artifact. I invested in it like last year or something. Mighty CTP of authority, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Probably would be better with a liberation. But if I tier 4 him, I can use him as a support for Jean now. And then in the future, if they ever invest in a Black Order you know, tier 4 PvP team with the tags and stuff, then I can take advantage of his ability in his artifact, which gives all Black Order allies increase damage to heroes and villains. And at that point, they would probably, you know, want a tier 4 Black Swan, who I think is really cool. I would love to do that. So I think it's a great time to invest in shares of Ebony Maw. Now, it's actually a really bad time to invest in shares of Ebony Maw because of the update next week. It's always a horrible idea to tier 4 a character. In the past, before tier 4, I would say to tier 3 a character right before an update, because you don't know. You don't know who's going to get what. And then, of course, books, right? You're going to get stuck without any books. You're going to get caught with your pants down, proverbially. However, we know Shala Ball is coming. We know she's universal. The chances of her getting the tier 4 are slim. They hate releasing new characters as tier 4s because the devs have some sort of allergy to cool ideas. And so because of that, I think that the chances of that happening are very, very slim. And then I also remembered to combo this idea that I have these tickets. I can use these tickets to just, you know, cover my ass. So in the rare chance that Shala Ball does get she'll be a native tier 2, but I'll still be able to use... Oh, shit. I won't. I just realized that I won't be able to. Cannot be used on a native tier 2 or tier 3. Yeah, you won't. Like, I knew for sure I couldn't use this one, but I thought I could use this one because it's just the last step. But you can't. Damn. Man, I think the chances of them giving Shala Ball tier 4 are so slim. You know what? Screw it. The data mine did show that Shala Ball is going to be a native tier 2. But listen, if they make Shala Ball a tier 4 from day one, I will be so happy that I won't even care that I don't have the books. Plus, you can't use the tickets to unlock their potential right away. So you have to wait anyways, right? These tickets here, these second potential realization tickets, they only work on native tier 1s anyways. They don't work on native tier 2s, so a native tier 3s. So you wouldn't be able to get her tier 4 day 1 anyways, unless there was some crazy like $100 plus bundle in the shop. And then you know, if you skip that, then you're just trying to unlock the potential normally, and that can take like, you know, 2 weeks for a native tier 2. So I think we're good, guys. You know, listen, best case scenario, they do release Shala Ball tier 4, and I'll just be happy for that. So, and then worst case scenario, in that sense of them not releasing Shala Ball tier 4, I don't get punished for this decision. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and tier 4 him now. I think this is smooth brain probably. We got 30,500 Carbo, but he is a native tier 2, so this could take a huge chunk. This could take like 8K out of me. So let's just go ahead and see from 30,500. So 13, 15, 16, 13. Okay, let's go down to single digits. 23. Okay, really expensive first gear. Okay, tremendously expensive first gear. That was 2K. 2,000 Carbo on the first gear. That's putting us at an average of like 10K for him in total. We get a 1 there. We get a 7. There we go. Single digits. 17. Okay, we need to go back. 21. Go back down. 24. Okay, biblically overpriced right now. We're at 4,000 Carbo after 2 gears. We are literally averaging 2,000 Carbo per gear. Guys, relax with the rolls. We need single digits here. 7, 12, 15. What the 16, 1. We need a 1 here. 19. Okay, yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. We're getting rinsed here, boys. 5, 15, 16. Okay, whatever. 25, sure, on the last one. 35. I was kidding. Jesus Christ. 35 on the last gear. Okay. Upgrade a skill. Why don't you upgrade your skill? You know the devs need to upgrade the skills to make characters good. Remember when they didn't give Ebony Maw iframe ignore? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. How many times? Take a shot for every time I say iframe ignore, and you will have a drinking problem. So that's nice. So yeah, so that was 7,500 almost. So with the advancement, we're looking at 8,400 carbonadium. 8,400 carbo for native tier 2, tier 4. Expensive? Just posting that on Discord right now as I'm recording. I think it's expensive. We're gonna break under... Wow, I think we're gonna break under 20,000 Soul of the Faltine. He has such a cool tier 3 animation, man. I love his tier 3 animation with the hands, the puppetry. It really, I think whoever designed Ebony Maw did a really, really good job because it really captures his like mind control puppeteer thing, which is actually more of a super giant thing, but we're not going to talk about that. Anyways, brand new tier 4, minted, hot off the press, boom. The second last, for me, the second last native tier 2, tier 4 that I did not have. Listen, all ye, and rejoice. Back when they actually put the right characters' names. By the way, fun fact, if you needed some more proof that the devs who work on this game these days are really phoning it in, what does it say there? Oh, did they fix it? Oh, no, there we go. Transcend potential with Yellow Jacket. Interesting. Transcend potential with Goliath. Oh, wow, Goliath is looking very slim these days. And then the rest, yeah, there's actually more mistakes. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go back there right now, but yeah, there's more mistakes. So there we go. We got Ebony Maw tier 4 now. Very nice. That was tier 4 number 57. Yeah, 58. Okay, awesome. We're closing in on 60 here. And the only one left that is native tier 2 for me is Odin. So probably, if there isn't a discount for the Black Friday, then the discount on the anniversary, I'll probably use it on him. Because I assume from here on out, all of the native tier 2s and native tier 3s that get tier 4s, I'll want to advance them right away. Unless they're tremendously underwhelming, which is a possibility technically. Now, hopefully we can clear this. There is a possibility that we can't clear this, but imagine all this and you don't get the clear. That would be absolutely brutal, but we should be able to get it here. Small possibility that Ghost Rider is a better striker here than Thor. If you're wondering why I'm using Thor, one, he matches the order, so he gives Jean the full max accumulation. You can see there she's doing like twice the damage of Black Bolt, and she also has a Mighty. So it's kind of sad that Black Bolt is so bad, despite the fact that I think they came out around the same time. But yeah, so the first thing is that Thor has the order. The second thing is that Thor has a brilliant rage, whereas my Ghost Rider only has a mighty rage. I think I'm going to transition Ghost Rider. I'm really excited about that. I have a brilliant judgment that's been sitting in my pocket since the anniversary that I got. I think it's finally time to slap that one on Ghost Rider and use it, but we shall see. Time will tell. So we get, see, in a minute here, we get under 47 bars, which is quite nice. We're going to sneak in a bit more damage. You can sneak in damage if you're comfortable with the fight when Thanos is summoning members of the Black Order. You do need a bit of practice, a little bit of timing. You do also need to be close to the top of the arena. So I'll try to drop some tips and gameplay positioning stuff for you guys as I'm doing this, but it is a pretty difficult fight. So pardon me if I go quiet now and then, or I, you know, can't give you too much advice. You want to go top, bottom left corner here, and then just rotate up. Pretty easy. Don't get frozen like that. Oh my god. Okay, let's try this again. Bullshit ass time freeze got me. It's fine. Just rotate around and you're fine. Don't do what I did, obviously, because you'll just get one-shotted. But let's go ahead and continue this fight here. We're a little bit behind the run that I had previously been commenting on. But I probably just jinxed myself by saying, hey guys, it's a difficult fight, so if I go quiet, you know, the reason for that is yada yada yada. Let's get out of the way here. Gonna drop this like mega bomb here. Gonna wait for, okay, here we go. In general, for most of the fight, you want to be in like the upper middle part of the arena. You don't want to be right in the middle of the arena. You want to be kind of in the upper middle. This is going to be a really close run, and I don't like that. I'm actually not a big fan of that at all. I might not actually clear this because we're at 30 bars and we're at 2.5 minutes. And the fight does actually get more difficult when Big Papa Thanos comes in. So the only advantage I have is, you know, there's always an exact amount of time. So if it goes right down to 0 seconds, we'll at least get a nail-biter finish. And also, when he summons King Thanos, there's a chance to deal damage to both of them at the same time. It's pretty hilarious. And so I'm actually going to save my tier 3 right now for when he shows up. Here he comes. Pop the tier 3 and do a bit of... yeah, I wanted to do even more damage there. I have to disable this stupid thing. I had to reinstall the game, and so my my settings got all screwed up. And I had a bit of I had a crash out off camera, and I uninstalled the game. I don't want to talk about it on you know on the channel just yet. I probably won't ever talk about it on the channel, let's be honest. But yeah, I was just having bad RNG. Decided to uninstall the game, and then when I reinstalled it, all the settings went back to 0. So I'm playing like super aggressively right now, not in the best possible way, but just because I'm worried about the time. So I'm not even paying attention to his animations, but I probably should be, because the damage is kind of falling off a cliff here. Partially because he's repositioning himself constantly, and so if you don't have good AoE, you kind of just get screwed. He dashes around a lot like Gore, which is bad, and you kind of just have to power through it. Yeah, this is kind of a mess right now. I don't want to stop dealing damage, but I'm taking a ton of damage from that fire attack. I don't want to stop dealing damage because of the awakening, the tier 4 skill being off, the tier 4 buff, the accumulation buff being off with the tier 3. I'm trying to just hope that it syncs back up again while I'm just spamming, but yeah, we're not looking too good here right now. So yes, did I tier 4 character for no reason? It's looking that way. It is looking that way. We're also not getting any rage procs, as if you guys haven't noticed, the rage proc is like way screwed up right now. This is part of the reason why the new CTP is so good for characters who don't have guaranteed crit rate. Yeah, this is over. Wow, this is crazy, dude. She does like less than a bar of damage at the end here with the tier 3 and everything lined up. Wow, I'm short by a lot. So Mighty Rage, not enough juice there despite the tier 4. Is it a waste? Kind of. Would I normally just spend the 300 crystals to finish the fight? Yeah. But in this case, I think I would just spend the 300 crystals to unequip her Mighty Rage and slap on a Mighty Competition. And so we'll do that and see how much better it is. Now, I'm hoping this run is actually quite a bit faster. I'm hoping it's like 30, 40 seconds faster, because then tomorrow I'm hoping that I can do stage 43 with her, and then I can leave 44 for Doctor Strange and then climb with him. But we'll have to see how this goes. So damage seems pretty good right now, but we're basically doing the same rotation, just Giga spam and spam and go. And then see, you know, the fruit of our labor. Zip around there. I do still really enjoy her second skill. Love the animation on that. We're going to just load up a bunch of crap here. Double up. Reset the accumulation, but that's okay. Just want to spam as much as possible. Really long wait on that Fury proc. That was a little sus, bro. I don't know, man. Still having proc issues is crazy. But we're definitely doing quite a bit more damage. We're at 45. We're at 15 bars after a minute. Just spamming here to get the accumulation for the tier 3 and for the for this skill as well, the tier 4. But yeah, we are doing quite well here. Schmoovin'. Oh, nice. We get a bunch of extra skill bumps in there. We're not going to get frozen. We're not going to get one-shotted. Let's go ahead and pop all this. Let's see what we get. This is faster. This is definitely faster. I don't want to jinx it. I think I'm getting hit sometimes by the Purifying Wind, and it's cleansing me. And I have to pay attention to that. But it's, you know, as you can see, it's pretty hard to see what's going on. Okay, that was a little bit lucky, I think. But I'll take it. Using the co-op skill, super important, guys. If you still sleeping on the co-op skill for World Boss Legend, it's so nice. It basically gives you, for most characters, not for every character, not for every skill combo, but for most, it gives you 1 to 2 seconds of just like pure immunity. Like you can't be penetrated, you can't be attacked or any like damaged or anything. It's really, really, really nice. So we're definitely going faster. Not a lot faster though. That's the thing. Not a lot faster. Just a touch faster. We actually end up at the same point, just mid 22 bars when Thanos cutscenes us. The advantage, I guess, is that we have more time on the board. But our rotation is kind of screwy with the proc versus the... he's so far away, dude. I hate how he just, like, dashes into space, man. Really not a big fan of that one. I'm going to try to line this one up again. It seems like he's far away. I don't know what's happening. I'm not doing any damage. Really cool stuff here. Yeah, it's just hard to see what's going on. It's kind of frustrating. I'm not a huge fan of this part of the fight because it just feels like a spam fest mixed with just like crossing your fingers and hoping you're in a good position. I know you can kind of try to position yourself. Oh, I'm taking a bunch of damage. Okay. I know you can try to position yourself against a wall to make him dash into the wall and, you know, avoid too much movement there, but it's inconsistent because the first dash will be into the wall, but the second dash will be back out into the middle, and then it kind of screws you up more. So I'm not really sure what's better, but as you can see, this is not going too well right now, and the Fury proc just disappears, bro. Yeah, I don't know. This is crazy, man. Taking a ton of damage. I died. This is really bad. Dying is really bad. It does stop the timer, but it also resets your tier 3, tier 4 charge. No Fury proc. Just up my ass, bro. Just up my ass, genuinely. Holy shit, bro. The Fury proc just disappearing for ages. I don't know what this game needs, man. I don't know what this game mode needs, but this is just torture, man. Your damage just falls off a cliff. This is crazy. Doctor Strange does well here. I guess his ignore dodge lead actually really helps. So funny enough, I know some people would be like, "Oh, Bullseye would have been a better tier 4 than Ebony." I don't think so, but it's just kind of crazy that man, this damage is so bad, dude. This is just like crazy bad damage. It's really, really rough. Yeah, I don't know. Doctor Strange just ate up this stage, but even with a Mighty, she did so well in the first phase of the fight, and then we end up, like, basically in the exact same place. More or less, we did, like, 1 extra bar of damage. That's crazy. That's really frustrating. So, I was trying to avoid spending 800 crystal, spending 300, no. What am I saying? I was trying to avoid spending 300 crystals here on the refresh, so instead I spent 800 crystals to swap her CTP. Same result, same end result. We fail. I don't want to spend the extra 300. I could definitely spend the extra 300 to just get through the stage faster, to climb higher, but I think I'm going to get stuck anyways. I was just hoping I could do it. Maybe you need brilliance at this point. I don't know if any other player has been able to clear this high with a Mighty. My Gene was able to clear, I think, 40 with a Mighty, barely. Or maybe it was 39 or 38 with a Mighty. I can't remember. But yeah, once I hit agility, I'm going to get stuck anyways, just because the DPSs for agility are pretty much pieces of shit. The only one that is worth anything is Miles. And so it's basically, your choice is have a brilliant judgment on Miles, or you can't complete the stage. So there's actually, despite the fact that there are so many tier 4s already in the game, there's so many bad ones that, like, we still need so much. We still need, like, so many characters. There's also not many supports. As you can see here, we just have Mystique. You know, Beast doesn't count as a support, really. He's a leadership, sure, but, like, you're going to use a self-buffing lead like Miles anyways, so it's not really that great. But there's still so many, and of course, that White Fox being the big one there, needed for buffs. I guess you could use Maya Lopez lead if you're trying to buff somebody else, but there's really nobody else that's strong enough anyways to clear that stage besides Miles. Maybe if you had a max build Psylocke with, again, a brilliant judgment, maybe. But otherwise, you're kind of screwed. And we're just waiting for more supports and more buffs, like more good tier 4s, basically. Because they surprisingly use this tag a lot. They use the agility tag a lot, and it's just full of shit characters. So it's kind of frustrating. Anyways, yeah, it is what it is. It was. I still like the tier 4. I do think that it was a bit of a waste here now, but it's good to have for later. He's a good support, and he can be used in limited spurts for things like Alliance Conquest. So he's not terrible. You can pair him up with, like, Black Swan and stuff like that. So not the worst, but a bit disappointing that we weren't able to get the to clutch out the win because we were so close. We were in like, you know, within 4 bars. And maybe with a perfect run you could, but I'm at the point where I'm not hardcore enough to just keep rerunning that. I just don't give a shit. I'll just, you know, clear it tomorrow with Doctor Strange and just let it be. And just climb more slowly to get stuck at 45 anyways. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. 8,000 mats flushed down the toilet. 9,000? No, 8,000. 8,000 mats flushed down the toilet. We still have a lot, to be honest. We're not in any kind of harm here. But yeah, we'll see. Did I just curse myself for Shallow Ball tier 4? Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Anyways, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching the video. Smash the like button, enjoy the content. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.